So like the nice thing about the manual instrumentation is that you know, at least for performance tracing, like the way that you can set up related information is through parent-child relationships between spans. And so you could kind of make this tree go on and on and on. You know, I had one that, as I was building this, just broke our UI because each of these caret sections are a parent to like a child set of spans. Excuse me. So sorry. And so you can kind of take not even just a small process, but a medium level process of like a page and break it down into all the components that go into it if you wanted to bubble that responsibility up to one big root. I think there are probably many more technical levels just to something like arriving on a page to like browse for restaurants. But in the smallest case, like you can, you know, we can kind of break down the process into each like the units of work that go into it. And then, you know, on the embrace like dash side, the nice thing is that for something like all those traces, you start to begin to have measurements for the duration of them. So this P50 is like the average, pure like middle of the road average time for that interaction, and then the individual like instances of those happening. So it is pretty robust, pretty flexible. From like the client side, you can put those traces wherever you want them to be is really the great thing. And then it's almost like, it's not quite like a systems design question, but it's like mapping out what is happening in your code and seeing which aspects of that you want to trace to kind of bubble up to the larger idea of what it was you wanted to measure in that flow.
Yeah, actually, one detail that's interesting about the graphic on parent-child is like they are not tied up on duration, so you can have a parent span with a small duration and a child span longer than the parent. For example, you can think of an asynchronous operation. So if you want to trace all the different operations that or functions that has been called after one single action, you start adding spans, and then you notice, for example, that one of those that is asynchronous is not blocking the UI, but still is taking a lot of time. So it's useful to have that graphical idea of what's going on.